Hi folks, and welcome to today's video, lumbar disc herniation recovery. What's it like to work with me as a coach? Now, a lot of people often ask me, what's it like to work with you? How can I work with you? What's your process is? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my process, my methodology, my background, some client results, etc., how the whole process works, so you can understand what it is like to work with me. So without further ado, let's dive into today's video. So folks, I wanted to make a video because I do get asked this question a lot, how is working with you? What's it like to work with you? What kind of results can I expect? Why should I work with you? Who are you, this guy on YouTube, right? So I wanted to make this for people who are interested, who are potentially looking at working with a coach like myself to get back on the road to pain-free living. If you are suffering from lumbar herniated discs, back pain, sciatica, lumbar stenosis, lumbar arthritis, those types of things. Okay, so my name's Colin. I'm actually from Scotland originally, the UK. Lived around the world, in different parts of the world. My athletic background, I grew up very, very sporty, very, very active. I used to race mountain bikes when I was a younger teenager. I've did martial arts for like 20 years, about sort of 15 or so, right through about mid-30s. I was a big golfer, being Scottish, the home of golf. I used to do a lot of golfing. I played rugby for a number of years as well. So very high impact, dynamic activities, sports, cross-country mountain biking, downhill mountain biking, all these types of things. And along the way, I picked up a few injuries, of course, but managed to get back on track. And it steered me in towards actually academically studying, sport coaching, exercise science. Did a postgrad in sports psychology as well, sport and exercise psychology. And then back in 2005, I actually herniated my L5-S1. I was in the USA at the time working. And I was able to bring myself back to being pain-free, lifting again, exercises as normal. There's a couple of videos that are gonna flash up on the screen there. I was squatting, deadlifting, throwing weights over my head, all these types of things, throwing tires over my head, right? Not a problem. I did it again in 2024, okay, actually. And I brought myself back again. There's a couple of me doing some leg exercises there. Until recently, I've got some other issues. An old hip injury came back to haunt me. But I have done it twice, lumbar herniations. I've also got numerous other issues that I've rehabilitated, cervical herniation bulges, end plate damage in my neck. I had a torn labrum in my right shoulder, torn labrums in my hips, meniscus grade 3 tear in my right knee, bone in my elbow, torn MCL in the left knee twice. A variety of things I've always brought myself back from by strengthening my way out of pain using graded exposure and progressive overload. All right, so that's where I've come from and basically how I sort of, my sort of modality or theory, if you will, when it comes to strengthening your way out of pain, because the only way you're going to get out of pain is by strengthening your way out of pain. You can't stretch your way out of it. You can't yoga your way out of it, right? You've got to embark on a whole body strength training regime. That is number one, the best way to get you out of pain. It has to be the core. Yes, you can do some stretching, some decompression along with it, but the strengthening aspect is, in my opinion, the most important aspect of this process. So, how does my process actually work? Okay, number one, most people start with my free advice call. Now, if you look on the comment section here, there is a link to book in for a free advice call using Calendly, because I do offer a free advice call. It's up to 1 hour in length, where I actually give you exercises, stretches, recommendations for free to go away to try to get you back on the road to pain-free living, okay? Now, I basically create a little workout within the email. I see the example email flash up there on the screen. There's a link to a folder where I've got all your exercises there. I've got your stretches there, okay? And it is for you to go away and try. Now, people say, but there's no value in something free, right? I use it kind of as a screening tool, okay? I want to see if that person is committed enough, willing to change, and really wants to get themselves out of pain. So for me, it establishes whether this person is willing to go and do what I say, yeah? After I've spoken to them, of course, right? Now, most people will start to feel some sort of benefit, I usually say to people, in that 10 to 12 day mark. And I always check in with them, drop an email, say, hey, how you doing? John, Mark, Bob, Tracy, whoever, how's things? How's the plan working out for you, right? Because I do say, look, I can't help 100% of the people 100% of the time, right? But you should try this because it will let you know if conservative care, my my modality, my process will start to get you out of pain. And it says to you, right, I can do this, okay, with the correct, coaching, the correct exercise, the correct physio, etc. Right? So number one is typically the free advice call. Now, number two is if they do want to work one-to-one for me, I make a proposal. We have an onboarding call. Now, on the onboarding call, because this is a super tailored program for the individual, I need to know the person's work schedule, family commitments. What does a typical work day look like? How long is your lunch hour? What time do you get out of bed? What time do you go to sleep? How long do you sleep? Do you have a stressful life? I think everybody does these days, but what's your stress levels? Do you have access to a gym close by? Do you have equipment at home that we can use? What do you have? Take pictures, send it to me, right? I need to know all these things so I can fit the plan into their particular day. Now, I've had people basically, they've been doing an active job, but they're out quite a lot in the car. I've had people pulling into a gas station or into a car park, getting out, doing 4 exercises off the back of the car, right? Some stretching, some push-ups, whatever it could be, just to fit it into the day, because we would break it up through the day, right? To make sure everything would be done within their day. And that's the whole point of a tailored plan. It's tailored to you. It's not some generic cookie cutter thing that you follow. It is very much, detailed to that specific person's, as I said, anatomy, previous injuries, all these types of things I have to take into account, right? So number 2 is the onboarding call. Number 3 is the delivery of the plan. So I've tried different things with different clients. Basically, obviously there's like a PDF structure thing. There's things like Notion, right? To be fair, most of what has worked well and what most people like is some sort of PDF sort of type of plan that they can print out, they can take with them, they can keep it, they can have it stored in a folder, and that's like their kind of like their program rehab folder, right? Again, all the videos are separated in a specific folder for them: exercises, stretches, mobility, daily activities, whatever it could be. And obviously we've got the workouts for them there as well. Okay, it's me, there's a video of me, I'm creating different workouts for them there. And all this is delivered to them, and then they can actually start. Now, obviously there's all the links to the different videos. We have an intro video where I basically go over, what the plan entails, how they're supposed to implement, recording the exercises, because they have to record the exercises. The repetitions done, the weights done, because we need to know if they're making progress, right? I would say to the clients, look, you need to do, an extra rep or 2 this week, the next week, etc., because we need to see progress. If you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, what do we call that? Insanity, right? So there's got to be some, structure on how to follow the plan and how to advance the plan. As I said, progressive overload, okay? And then what about feedback? What about assessment? How do you, keep an eye on these clients? What do you do? Let me tell you. Now, when it comes to feedback and assessment, I don't just, give you the program and it's fire and forget, okay? Initially, any problems you have, exercise you don't understand, just you reply by email. Okay, quickly, boom, email. Colin, this doesn't make sense. This video is missing, or I can't figure out this exercise here. And basically, I get right on it right away, and we get you up and running as fast as possible. Now, my favorite tool for communication is actually the messaging app Telegram, okay? Now, it's not because I'm a hacker, right? It's nothing to do with that. It's because Telegram lets you send 3.5 gigabyte video files in general, over it, okay, which is much more than WhatsApp, okay, more than Viber, etc. And it's really good for me if I'm on the move, on the go, to send video instructions, to do a quick, video or change, modify something on the go. I can film with my phone, okay? It's a really, really useful tool for doing this type of feedback in this particular structure. Now, as far as feedback goes, typically through the week, I'll get back to people within 24 hours. Over the weekend, 48 hours, just because of family and commitments and stuff like that. Typically, I'm always much, much faster, okay? Especially, I say to clients, look, if it's something really like you're in pain or something's happened, put urgent as the first line of the message, and I will jump on that as soon as I see it on my phone, and I will get back to you as soon as possible, okay? Now, basically, it's almost like you've got this one-to-one coach that you can communicate with all through the week. You can ask me as many questions as you want, and I will get back to you with answers. Okay, I send either by video, okay, or I will type. Okay, just depends, what the person or what format I want to use, how to get the answer across so the person understands what we're saying. Okay, now obviously this is useful for feedback from both sides. So I give them feedback, but the client can, obviously what I want them to do is take video of them doing the exercises. They send that to me and then I can correct it. Okay, because some people, they watch the exercise videos, they think they get it, they do the exercise, okay, but just to do with body control, proprioception, they haven't quite got it. So I say, look, send me videos to make sure I know exactly what you're doing, how you're doing it, the tempo, your posture, leg position, etc., etc. I can correct it, and then I know exactly what you're doing is exactly what I have prescribed, and we are perfectly good to go, okay? Now, normal feedback from the client side is on a Friday. I call it Feedback Fridays, right? Very original. And that basically is via a Google form sheet they can fill in anywhere on their phone, laptop, PC, whatever. But they can, if they wish, just answer the questions in video format and send that to me. It's easy for me. Now that feedback helps me see, because I'm asking various questions, like how did the week go? Did you get your steps in? Did you miss exercises? Is there anything you want from me? What questions you want me to cover when I respond to you? And it basically, it's very sort of specific and to the point because it lets me see how that week has gone with the client and how I'm going to progress it for the next week or change or adapt, okay, going forward. And I respond again, mostly via video, okay, and or sometimes type as well if we need to change exercises. Now, the next point, of course, is progression, okay? How do I progress this person week on week, okay, month on month? Like I said before, it is my principle of basically progressive overload, graded exposure. So we're making things slightly harder, maybe more range of motion, increasing intensity, a harder band, we change the foot position, whatever it could be, because we have to create this environment for the body to adapt to it, okay? But I'm not going to move you from, there's going to be some step ups going to pop up there. We're not going to move you from like a little small step up, way up to a super high step up, okay? It's going to be, for example, maybe it's going to be 10, 12 inches to start with, then it'll maybe be 15, then it'll be up to 20. So I'm not jumping you from 10, 12 up to 20, okay, over the course of 1 week or 1 month. It's going to be progressive, right? Progressive overload. That's exactly what it means. Now, I do all this based on the feedback that you give me. I might be modifying an exercise, taking one away, replacing one, giving you more to do, maybe adding an extra workout through the week for you, taking out a stretch, putting a stretch in, taking out decompression, putting one in. So it's all the time being consistently tailored to you and the feedback you give me, what works for you. Because again, one of the big problems with generic PT, and I hear this all the time, people go to PT, they're given a set of exercises, some of them seem to hurt them, some of them don't seem to do anything, some they like, right? And they'll say to the PT, oh, I don't like this one. Oh, you got to keep doing it, right? Because the PT has got this generic list of things they have to do for low back pain problems, and that's it, right? I've had so many clients say they've complained to the PT saying, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, or they've gone home and not done their homework because it hurts them. It makes things worse, right? So many times the PT has said to them, you need to keep doing it, you need to keep doing it. Because that PT is trained in only one modality, right? They won't look outside the box. They won't bring in stuff from McKenzie, McGill, Pavel Collage, whoever it could be, right? To use with this particular client. Whereas what I try to put across or use is tailored to the individual's ability, okay? So that's the whole point of working one-to-one with a coach is you're going to get a tailored plan specific to your condition, your situation, etc., right? Now, how else do I communicate? Well, we also do a follow-up call. This is normally every 4 weeks, sometimes 2 weeks. It depends on the client, how much support they need. We actually have a proper one-to-one video call, and here we reassess how the month has gone, what the goals are for the next month, what we achieved in the previous month. I basically create a whole set of brand new workouts going forward for this new phase, which are going to be obviously much harder. Maybe there's some lingering unanswered questions. We go for that. Maybe we talk about the psychology, maybe setbacks that have happened. So it basically resets the frame of mind for the next month going forward. So it's like, yeah, boom, I'm going to beat this, right? I am a very optimistic person. You have to be, okay? You've got to stay, I know it's hard sometimes, but you've got to stay positive, okay? And I help with that, this psychology side of things, to help that person remain positive, remain on track, and get to that bit back to that pain-free life that they want, yeah? Now, moving on from this, time frame? What is the sort of length of time people normally spend working with you, Colin? I would say the average, now some people are longer, some people are shorter, is 3 months, okay? That's the average time people spend working with me on a one-to-one basis. Some people go 6, I've had some people for a year even before, some people 2, okay? But overall, I think the average has been 3 months. And what I try to do is I try to instill in the person the education, the knowledge that they can carry on themselves, confident in the ability, they know what they're doing, right, into the future, okay? And the reason or why I do this is because I want that person to be able to tell other people, you know, maybe somebody says, oh, why are you doing the reverse lunge? And why are you doing this? Oh, well, I'm actually working on the stability of my hips and, you know, I keep my spine straight and da-da-da. So I don't just give you exercises and don't explain why you've got it, okay? I explain why you're using it, what the benefit is, okay? So you know, and you know why we've gone from maybe a step up to a reverse lunge, like what the theory is behind that. Because then you start to build in that person the understanding of exercise, how to progress exercises. So after they're done with me, they know how to make things harder. Okay, they know how to change. Maybe I often recommend they buy a suspension trainer system if they don't want to go to the gym. I give them a series of exercises they can do in the suspension trainer. They can take it with them when they go on holidays or breaks or business trips, right? So they're always got this sort of this package of knowledge that they can use to be working out 2-3 times a week to maintain and improve where they are. Yeah, and as I said, it's to educate that person. Okay, so again, it's not just I give you the thing to do and you do it without knowing why you're doing it, right, or what these things do. I explain to the client what these things are and why they're doing, what the benefit is to them, and why they should keep doing into the future. Yeah. Now, we often stay in contact. Every sort of 2-3 months, I'll reach out to the person, see how they're doing. I often have a call maybe a year later as well. Say, hey, how's things? You know, how's life? How's job? How's the family? You know, what's been going on? Because this is, for many people, it does take a few years to get yourself back to where you want to be. And you have to be aware of this injury going forward. So this, kind of follow-up by me, it's what I would have wanted. Okay, when I was coming back myself, now I was lucky in that I had the knowledge, but looking across Reddit posts and other people that I've worked with, it's really nice to know that that person is still looking out for you, still checking in on you, because I want to know how my clients have got on as they've progressed. Yeah, and of course you're probably asking, so Colin, what are the results? What have these people achieved? Let's find out. So perhaps the big question you're asking is, well, Colin, what kind of results these people get, right? So I probably wouldn't still be here if they weren't getting results, right? But what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically first, I'm going to flash up, well, you can go to this link, it's in the description down below. It's a link to a video. There's quite a few clients like this, but this guy, he came back, he probably one of the worst histories of working with different, coaches and stuff, not getting anywhere. He started working with me, and he was back mountain biking, bought himself a brand new mountain bike. It's quite a long video. You can go and check it out, go and check his story. I've got a few more that I've not posted yet. But what I'm going to do next is it's going to pop up here is YouTube comments on screen. Okay, I'm just going to let those go through for you. A lot of people have really appreciated the content that I have put on there. And they have had results just from my videos on YouTube, okay, which of course are more generic, they're not tailored, right? But you can sort of linger there and watch and have a look at those comments. And then I'm going to post up a couple of emails that are going to pop up there. You can pause and you can have a read of what they said there. People unbelievably thankful this is clients that I worked with, unbelievably thankful for the results they got. And they came so far basically in their time, being able to do activities again, sit with a family, whatever it could be. Have a look at those. And then last, I'm going to play a recording. I've taken it off because I record my meetings. I'm not going to play the actual video for you guys, just to protect the person's identity. I'm not, I always ask people, look, are you okay to share? And some people are not okay to share, but I will share the voice, okay? It's just the audio, and you can listen to what he said. I haven't
been taking notes on the pain specifically, but I'm like, dude, I just kind of realized it this week. I'm like, I haven't had pain when I'm sleeping at all.
I was reading, I read it twice, your feedback, and I'm not joking, I had like shivers up my spine, because it's, when I read these things, man, seriously, when I read your story, I was just like, wow, he's bought a new mountain bike. It's amazing.
I'm ready.
Yeah, that's
ready.
yeah.
You've been the only person that have actually helped me.
Now, that is just one person. They have many more like that. If you're interested in working with me and you want references, if you want more, client testimonials, by all means, shoot me an email, comment down below. Okay, I will gladly share them with you. I'll speak to the clients first, of course, but yes, that's not a problem. Now, I always say, look, I can't help 100% of people 100% of the time, right? And there is some people, I will happily admit, that I've not been able to help. They've just not got the results they were looking for, in that initial sort of like 2 weeks, whatever. And I said, right, your problem is obviously more severe, or there's something else lacking here. Go back to your primary care physician. I think you might need to get another scan or get reassessed, yeah? But if you're out there, if you're struggling, you're in a dark place, you think you've tried everything, osteo, chiro, physio, yoga, shots, etc., you're at your wit's end, book in for a free call, right? You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. 1 hour of your time, apply what I tell you to do, put it into practice. If you start getting results, if you only start to feel better, then right? You know that conservative treatment will work for you. Don't give up hope. I know it can feel hopelessness is like one of the main issues. I've been there with various injuries myself in the past, okay? It can be a dark, dark place. But reach out to me. I will gladly help you. Book in for a call, okay? Let's get you back on the road to pain-free living. Now, folks, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope it's kind of opened your eyes to how it works with me. If you have enjoyed this content, you want more content like this, then don't forget to subscribe. Like the video, of course, as well for the algorithm, okay? Any comments, questions, hit me up down below. Or if you want to send something more personal, you can drop an email to me. My email is in the description. And I look forward to seeing you guys all next time. Have a great day.